owes my family an apology. More so because a lot of times he'll have this perspective of it was a joke or I was trying to be funny, and it did not land at all.
Y'all ever watch someone who's been quiet for years suddenly reach their breaking point? I'm talking about the kind of moment where the room goes silent, the cameras zoom in, and you can feel that something real is about to spill out.
Make a person feel a different way about any individual that they don't know. She doesn't know you.
That doesn't matter. She shouldn't feel that comfortable to talk to my husband about...
Because that's exactly what happened when Kimmi Grant finally went off and exposed Marsau Scott on camera. And baby, nobody was ready. Not Marsau, not the cast, not even the viewers at home who thought they had him figured out. For the longest time, Kimmi has been seen as the calm one, the peacemaker, the woman who keeps her composure while chaos swirls around her. But here's the thing people forget. Quiet doesn't mean weak, and patient doesn't mean clueless. Kimmi has been watching, listening, taking notes, and when she finally opened her mouth, it wasn't noise, it was truth. The kind of truth that shakes fake confidence and cracks carefully built images. What unfolded on that screen wasn't just a heated moment. It was years of bottled up frustration, subtle disrespect, and emotional manipulation coming to light. And once it started, there was no stopping it.
Did it take her to say, okay?
I don't know.
Seconds. I wasn't even there, and I know it took seconds.
It wasn't seconds.
It was seconds.
To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to understand who Kimmi Grant really is. She didn't come on to Love and Marriage Huntsville trying to be the loudest or the messiest. Kimmi has always carried herself with maturity and grace. She's a woman who's lived life, faced real challenges, and still shows up with empathy for others. From her career to her role as a wife and stepmother, Kimmi has always moved with intention. She listens more than she speaks, and when she does speak, it's usually to calm things down, not stir them up. That's why people trusted her. That's why her words mattered. Marsau Scott, on the other hand, has built a reputation on confidence and charm. He's quick with his words, smooth in conversation, and always ready with a joke when things get uncomfortable.
I wanted to make sure that no one is misled by this information. First of all, my name is Maurice Scott. Maurice Jefferson Scott, Sr. And if you're gonna do research on a Maurice Scott, make sure that you're researching the right person.
To some, that made him entertaining. To others, it felt calculated. Over the seasons, viewers started noticing patterns, how Marsau often talked over people, dismissed emotions, or twisted conversations to make himself look like the smartest one in the room, especially when women were expressing how they felt. Kimmi saw it too, but for a long time, she stayed out of it. She believed in keeping the peace, respecting boundaries, and not inserting herself into drama that wasn't hers. But what nobody expected was that all those small moments were stacking up. Every side comment, every eye roll, every time Marsau minimized someone's feelings. And eventually, the weight of all that silence became too heavy. The tension didn't explode overnight. It had been building slowly, quietly, right in front of our eyes. Group gatherings where Marsau dominated the conversation, sit-downs where he deflected accountability with humor, moments where Kimmi would try to add perspective only to be brushed aside or subtly undermined. You could see it in her face sometimes, the pause before she spoke, the deep breaths she took, the way she chose her words carefully. She was holding back. But here's the twist. The breaking point didn't come from some huge blow-up or screaming match.
This very second in his life has tunnel vision. His focus is on getting custody of Monster. I would think he would have had that conversation with me first before extending that invitation. So I'm bothered.
It came from disrespect layered so casually that Marsau probably didn't even think it mattered. During a discussion that was already emotionally charged, Marsau made comments that came off dismissive, especially considering Kimmi's personal journey and the real battles she's faced in her life. And that's when something shifted. Kimmi didn't raise her voice right away. She didn't curse him out. She looked at him, really looked at him, and then she spoke. Calm, clear, direct. She called out the way he minimizes people's feelings. She pointed out how he uses intelligence and wordplay to dodge responsibility. She said what many viewers had been thinking, but nobody on the cast had the nerve to say out loud. And Marsau, he wasn't ready. You could see it all over his face. The smirk faded, the jokes stopped landing. For once, he couldn't talk his way out of it. What made the moment so powerful was that Kimmi didn't just throw accusations around. She came with examples, context, receipts. She explained how Marsau has a habit of flipping narratives, making others feel small, or acting like emotions are weaknesses instead of valid responses. She talked about patterns, not just one-off moments. And when she brought up how this behavior has affected relationships around him, including his own marriage, the room shifted. That wasn't shade, that was exposure. Marsau tried to interrupt her, crack a joke, lighten the mood, but Kimmi wasn't having it. She stood firm, she didn't back down, and in that moment, the power dynamic changed. Because when someone who's known for being fair finally says enough, it hits harder than any loud argument ever could. The silence that followed was loud, and once that scene aired, social media exploded. Fans replayed the clip over and over, breaking down body language, tone, and every word exchanged. People felt validated, like finally someone had said what they'd been screaming at their TV screens for years. But here's where things got even messier. Instead of taking accountability, Marsau went into damage control mode. He didn't come out with a sincere apology. He didn't acknowledge Kimmi's feelings. Instead, he leaned into the same tactics he called out: deflection, blame, subtle victim playing. Instagram stories popped up talking about editing and context, podcast interviews where he danced around the issue without ever saying, "I was wrong." And fans noticed. They weren't buying it this time, because when footage shows you saying what you said in your own voice, there's only so much you can blame on production. What really spoke volumes was the reaction, or lack of reaction, from the people closest to him. No loud defense, no united front, just silence. And sometimes silence says more than words ever could. Kimmi, on the other hand, didn't go on a media tour. She didn't drag it out. She said what she needed to say and stood on it. That's confidence. That's integrity. And that's why her moment resonated so deeply. The emotional impact of this confrontation went far beyond one episode. For Kimmi, it was about reclaiming her voice, about no longer shrinking herself to keep others comfortable. She's a woman who has fought real battles, faced life-altering challenges, and still shows up with strength. To have her experiences minimized, even indirectly, was painful, and speaking up wasn't easy. It meant risking relationships, family dynamics, and public opinion, but she did it anyway. For her husband, Maurice, it put him in an impossible position: loyalty to his wife versus loyalty to his brother. That kind of tension doesn't disappear when the cameras turn off. It follows you home. It shows up in quiet moments and hard conversations. For the group as a whole, it forced a reckoning. The women on the show especially seemed to find a new sense of empowerment. Kimmi's words opened the door for others to reflect, speak up, and stop accepting behavior that had been normalized for too long. And for Marsau, whether he admits it or not, his image took a hit. Not because Kimmi attacked him, but because the truth did. The polished persona cracked, and once people see behind the curtain, they can't unsee it. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: this wasn't just a reality TV moment. It was a turning point, a reminder that silence isn't strength, and speaking your truth doesn't make you difficult or dramatic. Kimmi Grant didn't go off for attention. She stood up for herself and for others who had been talked over and dismissed, and that takes courage. The real question now is what happens next. Will Marsau reflect and grow, or will he double down on old patterns? Will this shift the dynamics of the show permanently, or will things slowly slide back into old habits? One thing's for sure, the audience is watching closer than ever, because when the calm one finally snaps, it's usually because they've reached their limit, and Kimmi's limit became everyone's wake-up call. This moment changed the conversation, changed the energy, and changed how people see power on that show. And baby, once the truth is out, there's no putting it back in the box. And when you really sit with everything that happened, it becomes clear that this moment was bigger than one argument or one episode. Kimmi didn't just speak up for herself, she spoke for every person who's ever been talked over, dismissed, or made to feel small just to protect someone else's ego. Her words weren't loud, but they were heavy, and once they landed, they changed the energy in that room for good. Marsau may try to laugh it off, explain it away, or blame the edit, but the truth is already out there. People saw it, they felt it, and now the question isn't what Kimmi said, it's what happens next. Growth or denial? Accountability or more deflection? What makes this moment unforgettable is that it came from the last person anyone expected, the calm one, the peacemaker, the woman who stayed quiet until silence was no longer an option. That's power, real power. So as this story continues to unfold, keep your eyes open, because when someone finally stops protecting the lie and starts telling the truth, everything shifts. And this might just be the beginning.